this is our first time meeting, hi, I'm Kendall, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I felt like you're watching Disney Channel. Today's video is going to be all of my favorite books of 2024. Not doing a top 10 or top 24, just the books that I absolutely love, and I'm like shouting from the rooftops. I've primarily been on Book Talk and Bookstagram over the past 2 years, but I'm super excited to start making some long form content and chat just a little bit more in depth about books. Couple quick fun facts. I'm in my late 20s. I live in Southern California with my husband. He is my absolute best friend. He's also a reader, which I love. We have 2 super cute Cardigan Welsh Corgis together. I see an appearance from them from time to time. I love reading. I am such a homebody and I love just all things kind of cozy life. I read mostly romance, fantasy, and some historical fiction, but I am trying to branch out a little bit more this year. So excited to be here on BookTube, share a little bit more about my life and the books that I'm reading in depth. And I'm also really hoping there are people with similar book taste to me. Let me know what some of your absolute favorite books are in the comments. Maybe we have some in common. Let's jump into our favorite books of 2024, shall we? I am not going to go in any particular order because that would be way too hard. I will point out the ones that were like 6-star reads for me and my favorite series of the year. Jumping in with romance, the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver. This is her latest series that just came out this year. Her Chestnut Spring series is my favorite romance series of all time, so I was so excited when these were coming out. I loved them both. We've got Wild Love. This is the first book in the series. This is about Ford Grant, who's a billionaire, just in case you're wondering. His dry, fun humor. FMC Rosie, they are childhood frenemies. Not really. It sets the tone. Ford finds out, surprise, he's a dad and didn't know it. Kind of been like grumpy billionairing through life. Now he's got grumpy goth teenage daughter, which is really funny to watch. Total Grumpy Sunshine. It's like a workplace romance. The emails in this are absolutely incredible. So just a moment for this beautiful edition. I still don't know how I got this. Elsie and her team sent me this. Yeah, I freaked out. I was shaking when I opened the package. This was really good. It was a 5-star read. Really good. I did like this one a little bit better. If you didn't know, this entire series is a single dad series. So if you are into that, you're gonna love this. FMC is Weston Belmont, who's a horse trainer. He's like rugged. He's actually perfect. Didn't know Elsie Silver writes perfect men. If I wasn't married, I would want a man written by Elsie Silver, and I will die on that hill. The way that West and Skylar meet is so Yellowstone. It's incredible. If you love the Yellowstone series, you're gonna love these. If you wish Yellowstone had a better romance situation consistently, we end up in this forced proximity situation in the small town while Skylar takes her break from the celebrity life. Loved watching her journey, and I ate this one up. Loved it. Ate them both up. They're both 5 stars, but I do like this one more, and I'm very excited to see what the rest of the series looks like. These are small town, single dad, spicy romance. Does it get better than that? Elsie Silver is like the top tier. All right, favorite fantasy of the year was Heartless Hunter. I absolutely loved this. Witch Hunter, the tension, the banter, the love triangle situation. Kind of dark and whimsical while also being Bridgerton-y at the same time, if that makes sense. I was also lucky enough to read an advanced reader copy of Rebel Witch, which is the sequel. This duology just has a special place in my heart. Rebel Witch was everything that like I was hoping was gonna be the ending. This comes out in February, so I'm not gonna say too much because I want people to get to experience it all on their own. It ended in a really, really nice way. Felt like I could vividly imagine these books, like I could see them being a movie in my head. It's like an instant 5-star feeling if I can feel that way. My favorite series of the entire year, Magnolia Park series. I actually thought I wasn't gonna like these. The way they were described, I always just heard British Gossip Girl. I thought, those are gonna be like kind of shallow. I love these. The depth, the emotion, shallow moments, but that's part of the whole thing. There's actually so much depth that gets uncovered. These are hard to describe. I feel like the best way I can describe it is it's about a friend group of London socialites, extremely dysfunctional. Book 1's gonna drive you absolutely nuts. So this one is from Magnolia and BJ's like perspectives. They are a couple who's on again, off again. It's a whole thing. You just kind of want to smack them, honestly, in book 1. Then we move on to book 2, which is about Daisy, her brother Julian, who, yeah, I'm a Julian girl, in case you're wondering. Maybe that tells you something about me. When I was reading this, my thought and Goodreads update was that I would let Julian hates ruin my life. So there you go. Christian, who is in a complicated relationship with Daisy. Love this book. This is where I was like, okay, all right. I can see with this series, I can see why people are obsessed with this. Like I could get behind it. Then we're back to Magnolia and BJ, and you know, this is their point of view. We're still seeing what's going on with the whole crowd. By the way, these 2 books take place at the exact same time. I don't recommend doing a tandem read. I think each book should be enjoyed like in its own right, but these take place at the same time. Then we've got Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home. Again, back to the Magnolia BJ situation. This way that this book ends, out loud, I yelled. Huh? What? Like, no, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe the ending until I was forced to believe it. That was That was rough. And we've got Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, this book. I read the first 4 in the same month, and this one was just everything and more for me. This was the best book in the series. Julian Hayes. He's so deep. He's a thinker. He's really, I don't actually have words, as you can see. I'm still processing this series even a month after finishing it. We get to Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. Magnolia and BJ, and we see what kind of resolution happens for these 2 characters in this book. This book tore me to pieces. I cried so many times. I could cry again, like thinking about it right now. Like, this book was so good. It's heavy with grief. So you have experienced any grief in any kind of way. There's a very healing element. It's also very hard to read, but just the way that this was written was so beautiful. I'm torn to pieces. Can you see it? I'm torn. This is so good. We are still waiting on the final book. Jessa Hastings has not started writing it yet, to my knowledge, which is just, I'm gonna pretend that that's not true. Anyway, I loved them so much that I had to buy the special editions. They are so beautiful. I think I'm gonna make a separate video just for all of my special edition books. These are unreal. Can we just... And then there aren't any Daisy Hates special editions out yet, but they did make an announcement that there will be when that trilogy is complete. That was the series of the year for me, and I actually thought I was gonna like it. I listened to them on audio, and I cannot recommend that enough. A different narrator for each character, and it just really brings the whole friend group to life. Like, I will hear Magnolia's voice in my head for the rest of my life. Another book that absolutely wrecked me, Women by Kristen Hanna. Set during the Vietnam War, it focuses on a nurse named Frankie who goes to serve in the war, and then what her journey is like when she comes back to the United States. If you know anything about this time in history, it was a really rough time for our troops when they came back to the United States, and they weren't treated very well, and they just didn't have access to the resources that they really needed. It's very hard to read, but I think everybody should read this, but just prepare yourself, like, emotionally. Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. The cutest rom-com. If you like a 2000s rom-com, pick this book up, okay? That's what this feels like. It's a one-night stand. I don't like that trope, so just keep listening. Win and Bo have a one-night stand. I don't really think anything of it. Well, you know what happens next. So then they're getting to know each other as friends while they prep to become parents together. There is so much depth in this book. The witty banter is hilarious. Like, their sense of humor is amazing, but there's also emotional depth in it. Perfect rom-com. If you need a perfect rom-com, this is it. The Deal by Elle Kennedy. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think I was gonna like this book either. I thought it was gonna be like just a hockey romance, super spicy. No, the emotional depth in this book was amazing. Wasn't expecting it. Garrett Graham, my type. Love it. Couldn't put this down. I was actually traveling in Italy while I was reading this, so I feel like this is a lot because I was like in a place that was a lot of fun. The book had to be good to keep me captivated in that time frame. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying the rest of the off-campus series, but none of them have compared to this book yet for me. One of my favorite romance books of 2024, Sunday Morning by Jewel E. Ann. This is so unique and very out of the box. So it's set during the 80s, which is really fun. It kind of gives like a Footloose type of vibe. It's forbidden romance, which is one of my all-time favorite tropes. The tension that comes from forbidden romance is just, we're not gonna like psychoanalyze that. This is forbidden romance between a preacher's daughter and her boyfriend's older brother. And like, no, the cheating trope is not a big thing in this, not in my opinion, and I'm very sensitive to the cheating trope. I hate it, but this one's great. There is surprising emotional depth in this. I cried, I laughed, everything in between, the tension, the banter, all of it. It's all in here. Pick this up. Also, the sequel is coming out that's about her sister's story. I will be reading that immediately. I'm actually getting an advanced reader copy of it, and I'm very excited. Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. If you want truly a perfect vacation book, this is it. I read this in July in Hawaii. It couldn't have been better. This gives you like such Crazy Rich Asian vibes, okay? So if you love that movie as much as I do, pick this one up because that's like all I could see in my head while I was reading it. Wild, crazy story, marriage of convenience kind of situation. I'm like not doing a very good job describing this book, to be honest with you. I do need to reread the blurb to remind myself of the books that I've read after I've read them, and this one doesn't have a blurb, so I'm struggling a bit to tell you what this is about. I can tell you that it was a great time. It's also spicy, but like the right amount of spice to plot. That ratio is very important to me. So read this summer if you have not yet, or if you are just trying to ignore the fact that the weather outside is not ideal. Just for Summer by Abby Jimenez. I read the entire Part of Your World series last year and they were all great. This one was the best for me though, the connections that she makes. I do recommend reading in order. You can technically read them as standalones, would not recommend. So this is the third book in the series. Part of Your World, Yours Truly, then Just for the Summer. This was incredible. The emotional depth. I just love the way she writes a rom-com. I also love that spice level is rather low. It's a lot more plot driven, emotional depth. Love that. Pick this up. And lastly, the series that really is like tied with Magnolia Parks for me, but I picked Magnolia Parks because there's more emotional depth. The Mind F series, okay? I thought I was gonna hate this. One thing about me, I don't like to be creeped out. I don't wanna be scared at night when I'm going to bed. This was incredible. Like, I don't even have words. I don't do scary, I don't do horror, I don't do creepy, I don't do any of that. This was extremely manageable for me and I ate it up. I binged this. There's technically 5 books. They're each like 200-page books, so you can finish this quickly. They read seamlessly from one to the next. Anna Myers has had a lot of awful things done to her and her family, okay? She is serial unaliving the awful, and I mean like awful men that did just horrific things to her and her family. She's getting her revenge. We're here for it. Never in my life did I think that I would be cheering on a serial unaliver in a book, but you want Lana to get them all. Lana starts dating the FBI agent who is on her case looking for her. Is this book a literary masterpiece? No, it is not. Is it the time of your life? Yes, it absolutely is. They're all on Kindle Unlimited. They all have their own name, so I think sometimes people get confused. So if you're reading them there, make sure you look that up. The first one is The Risk. Fortunately, the author has passed away. I wish she was still here to hear us like shouting her book from the rooftops. This was just the time of my life. Got my husband to read this year too. He really enjoyed it as well. This is a book for everyone. Very close call with the Magnolia Parks series for me, but Magnolia Parks just captivated me in a different kind of way. If you're still here, you're a real one. Thanks for watching my 2024 favorites wrap up. I am so excited to be here on BookTube. If you like to see stuff in a little bit more in real time updates, I'm also on Instagram and TikTok. I'll see you soon. Happy reading. I hope your next book is a 5-star.